Instagram is dead. Its death was a quick one. It did not go the slow, lingering death that we have watched Facebook battle for years, where we've had to see our grandparents get more likes on their social posts than us. We've had to see extended relatives get slowly indoctrinated into neo-Nazi thinking. No, its death was quick, and it was an end to an era where we base our self-worth off of likes and shares and mentions and tags. This doesn't mean we don't still base a little bit of our self-worth off of that, but it means that we as viewers, as an audience, we want something more. Now, an ever-changing algorithm that we can't crack, the not so subtle ways the app has been turning towards e-commerce, and an eating disorder caused by the app's perfect lifestyle that it shows, where they won't let you talk about recovery, are three big ways that this app has slowly been bleeding out. Now, one of the really exciting things to look at when discussing this topic is just how the different social media app platforms have kind of moved around and shifted over the past 10 years. Now, growing up in the 90s and going to high school and college in the 2000s, Instagram was king. It was where trends lived, where they died, where celebrities got verified, and everything on social media that you could possibly find entertainment went originated in Instagram. It slowly trickled down to Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. From there, it trickled down to Snapchat and Reddit and Vine. And lastly, we have our two e-commerce platforms, Pinterest and Winello. And then we just have Tumblr, where honestly was the Wild West of social media. Today, we have TikTok. TikTok is king. It has killed Instagram and taken everyone else's places. That's what we're here to talk about today. We have then trends live and die on TikTok now. They trickle down and go to Twitter and Instagram, then to YouTube and Reddit. Finally, Pinterest is the only e-commerce app that has withstood the test of time. Then Facebook and Snapchat and Tumblr and our Vine and Winello have unfortunately died. Now, some really interesting things about TikTok, just while we're here on this little funnel pyramid. TikTok is the only social media app out of all of these listed on the screen that celebrities are not instantly verified. The app rewards what the viewers want, what the audience wants, what they are finding popular, and they get to dictate what trends. The app doesn't get to dictate what trends. And so if a celebrity is not entertaining the algorithm, if they're not entertaining the masses, they don't get verified. It's the same way of Twitter and Instagram. They promote what the app thinks should be funny, should be trending. They don't take into account what the audience is actually wanting to listen to and see and what is getting the most likes. And oftentimes people just save their TikToks just directly from TikTok and then will repost them on Twitter and Instagram. They don't even bother reformatting them into their own apps posting mechanisms. So let's take a look at the golden era of Instagram and how the app was set up. As you can see, the biggest thing, everything you need is at the bottom. So you can see all the posts you've liked. You can add a post. You can look something up in your home screen. The app has redone their user interface not once, not twice, but 3 times in the past year and a half to try and battle the fact that people are flooding to TikTok more than Instagram. And honestly, they're trying to turn their app more into TikTok, but also an e-commerce app, and it's not working. So this is what it looks like now. And right off the bat, you see if you want to add a post, if you want to make a new post, show a new photo, which is theoretically the point of Instagram, to share photos, it's up at this top. If you're holding an iPhone, your thumb does not reach up there. They are trying to get away from it being a photo sharing platform with us not noticing. Next thing, they have added a shopping button. They are trying to get people to buy things through the app. They're adding an e-commerce element to it that we didn't ask for, nobody wants. And lastly, they have added a Reels section. So the main thing that they're wanting you to post is short form content like people do on TikTok. And unfortunately, theirs is a lot more buggy and they censor what you talk about a lot more than TikTok. So for me, if I wanted to talk about eating disorder recovery that I went through a lot in high school due to the pretty pictures I saw on Instagram and how all of the Instagram influencers had their lives together and had this perfect life that they wanted us to believe existed and that we should attain, I can't talk about my recovery at all on the app. It is blocked. Honestly, a lot of people are just saving their TikToks and posting it this right here to Reels. They don't even want to bother remaking something in this app because it's not worth it for them. Another thing that has really made Instagram go down, and honestly, it's why TikTok has killed Instagram, is TikTok, when some sort of new thing comes out, if there's new fonts, new filters, anything, everybody gets access to it at the same time, whether you are a content creator, an influencer, or someone who has made 0 videos their entire time on the app. Instagram, for the longest time, only had these 4 fonts. They then, during the pandemic, came up with some new fonts, but only if you were a verified Instagram influencer. They wanted it to drum up excitement into people to try and become influencers, but really all it did was left a bitter taste in our mouths over who the app chose to prioritize. So according to a LinkedIn study, they wanted to see where people were spending their time on social media. The average person spends 56 minutes on TikTok. It's a lot longer than the average of 23 minutes for Instagram. Now, one of the biggest reasons why TikTok has become so much more popular than Instagram, and really why it's killed Instagram, is because of who TikTok is, quote unquote, letting become famous. So traditional social media like Facebook or Instagram rewards perfectly curated content. It promotes who they want to promote. It promotes their influencers. TikTok promotes the content that the viewer will like. TikTok decides who's popular, TikTok doesn't decide who's popular. TikTok lets the audience decide who's popular. And this is the first time that an algorithm for a social media app has worked like this. And it's why we've gotten such relatable posts that we've never seen in our entire lives. And I think it also came at the perfect time during the pandemic when everyone was fighting for their lives. Everyone was in a huge funk. And one of the biggest influencers to come out of that for TikTok is Axel Weber, who is now worth about $1 million. And he got famous talking about living in the world's smallest apartment in New York City. This is the entire apartment. There is no bathroom in it, where he pays about $2,000 a month for rent. And he buys his groceries on the street. And honestly, he just talks about all of his hardship with just such great positivity that you can't help but smile when you watch him. We then have people like the Basement Gang, who they all decided to quarantine in their grandma's basement, thinking that it would be a really short time. And unfortunately, that time just went on and on and on. And they slowly started making these fun, silly, viral dance videos where now all 3 of them have been able to quit their day jobs and they just do this full time. And I can speak firsthand, I got so much serotonin from watching them during the pandemic, during those stay-at-home orders. Finally, we have Tinks, who is one of my personal favorite TikTok turn success stories, who is now worth about $2.5 million. She has her own brand of clothing to help with that, but she got famous because she opened up and talked about getting one of those infamous "hey girly" texts where you learn that your boyfriend has been cheating on you. She has been on the cover of Vogue Australia, People magazine, on the New York Times. She is truly the big sister of all of us on TikTok, and people love her advice. Now, coming from a personal standpoint, a personal place, 2020, like many others, was the worst year of my entire life. In the span of 1 month, I got dumped. I lost my job due to COVID, had to move home into my parents' basement, where I then watched my grandmother die in front of me from a congenital lung disease, not COVID related. And so when I first turned to the app, I was looking for escapism. I was watching Axel Weber, the Basement Gang. I just wanted something fun and light. And I loved the relatability of people. They were telling you their horrible sob stories, we were watching people cry and have mental breakdowns on camera, versus Instagram, you only ever see the perfect, pretty lives that everyone has. That's the type of content Instagram rewards, versus TikTok rewards whatever that they think the audience is enjoying. So I started out making silly videos to keep my spirits up, where I impersonated Meredith Grey from Grey's Anatomy.
I thought I had found the person that I was going to spend the rest of my life with. I was done. So all the boys and all the bars and all the obvious...
Then in 2021, my life switched a bit, and they found a lump in my breast, and I had to get a breast reconstruction surgery. And so then my TikTok turned into kind of an archive, a video diary, so to say, where I was counting down the days until my surgery, talking about how I was saving up money for the parts of surgery that my my insurance did not cover since I was unemployed. And I talked about the medications that I was on, and even though I'm only getting 19 likes, I found a community in TikTok where I was so loved and embraced, and other people shared what they were going through, and it was a community that is not replicated on any other social media site. And so because of this relatability-ness, because it is the first app to truly let the audience, the viewer, dictate what is trending, what is cool, and because they're not trying to be an e-commerce app, those are the main reasons that TikTok is overtaking Instagram. The world is loving it, and it's killing Instagram. And Instagram, anything that they're trying to do to patch those wounds, it's not working. And I truly predict that in the next 1 to 3 years, Instagram will be up on that side underneath the tombstone, along with Winello and Vine.